Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ. I'm sorry I have been away for so long. Didn't obviously have a chapter over Thanksgiving, but last week was my birthday, so I was out of town doing fun shit. Didn't have time to do a stream. But we're back. We're back with a double chapter reaction. Chapter 1068, Genius Dream, and then chapter 1069, We Owe All There Is to Desire. So I'm really looking forward to it. Apparently these chapters are kind of divisive, so it should be pretty interesting. Looking forward to getting some hot takes and giving some hot takes of my own, so it should be a lot of fun. What is up, Ishmael? Good to see you, my dude. Yo, I'm here. I know spoilers up to this point, so I wanted to watch this to see the one tap. That's me assuming there is one. No, Mike, never mind. Oh, it's not synced. Oh, wait, can you not hear me? Is my mic not synced up? Fuck. Hold on. Let me make sure things sound okay. No, it looks like it's synced. It looks like it syncs to me, Ishmael. Yeah, it looks fine. I think it's your setup, my dude. Maybe refresh the stream or close it and reopen it and let me know if you're still getting some funny shit going on. I mean, I just looked at it on, like, I have a browser open, and it seems to be fine. Like, I can, it seems like it's synced up, but I don't know. Are you watching on, like, a mobile device by any chance? Well, anyway, I just confirmed it looks good. So, I mean, here, let me quickly pull it up on my iPad. It looks good. So, I mean, here, let me quickly... Yeah, I don't want to create an echo here. But, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's fine. Like, on my iPad, it's fine. On my browser, it's fine. So I think it's a you thing, my guy. You gotta take care of that. But I'm happy to see you, my guy. I'm happy you're here. Yeah, that's weird. I don't usually see latency issues like that, but sorry. All good. Honestly, I think I had a bit of a frame drop, like right around when I put my video on, so it might have something to do with that, but it seems to be good as of now. So if you're still seeing it, I would suggest like trying on a, maybe like opening it in like a different, if you're watching in the app, maybe try opening it in the browser. If you're watching in the browser, maybe try opening it in the app. But it seems to be good from what I can see from all the tests I've done. So I'm going to keep proceeding like everything's looking good. But yeah, guys, how about the Game Awards? Have y'all been watching that? I have. That's why I was late to start this stream. I actually have that open in another browser because I was thinking about streaming that, but I just kind of ended up like taking a nap after work, and by the time I was like, ready to stream, I had to like shower and all that. Basically the stream had already started. But yeah, I kind of, I'm not that concerned about who wins the Game Awards. I'm more interested in like what games get announced. So far they've announced like Hades 2. Wait, Ishmael says they fucking made Alexander. Oh, you mean like wait, this year they had Alexander come out? I didn't see that. I am just so disappointed that Elden Ring didn't win Best Narrative. That is so disappointing. Honestly, not surprised. God of War, I haven't played it yet, but I'm not surprised it won. I'm happy Elden Ring won Best Art Direction, though. That's pretty sick. But again, I haven't played a lot of the games that have come out this year, besides Elden Ring. I wanted to play Stray, but I was waiting for it to go on sale. And I want to play God of War eventually, but I still haven't played like the 2018 version. So they had the Pop Boy come out again? Oh shit. I thought that was a thing they did last year, but maybe they just brought it back. That's sick. Oh shit. Okay, they're actually... Sorry, I have it open in another browser, and apparently they're announcing like the fighting game winners right now, I think. Or maybe this is just... No, Best Action Game. And Sifu is a game that I did play. And that game is up for nomination this year. I don't know if I would give it to Sifu, though. Sifu, as much as I liked it, I do think had some problems. It's interesting who they have, like, announcing this year. They have, like, that one actor that everyone talks about. Oh, shit. I didn't get to see who won that. I don't know who this guy is. But anyway, enough about the Game Awards. That's not what y'all are here to see, unless you are, because I literally titled this stream The Game Awards. We're here to talk about One Piece. So, let me see. Can I even remember? It's been like 2+ weeks, right? The last time a One Piece chapter came out, what was it about? Platinum Games. Okay, so Bayonetta won Best Action Game. That's actually not surprising. Bayonetta, I haven't played them, but I hear they're great. It's not really my thing, but like I like some of Platinum's other games. Like I like Nier and I like Nier Automata, so it's not surprising. Sorry guys, I'm already getting so distracted by the Game Awards. But hey, I did put in the titles and the tags that I might be talking about the Game Awards, so sorry. But anyway, let's do One Piece. We might swing back to the Game Awards at some point, because I am interested. Maybe next year I'll stream the whole thing, which would be fun. But yeah, so in the last chapter of One Piece that I read, which was chapter 1067, the Luffy, not Bello Betty, fuck. Luffy, what, oh god, who was there? Luffy, Chopper, Jinbei, and Bonnie ended up meeting the OG Dr. Vegapunk. That was pretty cool. And LUCCI and the CP0 gang are approaching Egghead Islands. So, yeah, it seems like something's about to go down. But I still can't see LUCCI being, like, a threat in any way. Like, LUCCI should be completely eclipsed by... Like, LUCCI and his homies should be completely eclipsed by Luffy and the Straw Hats at this point. Like, they really shouldn't stand a chance. They should get bodied unless they have Seraphim with them, which they might. We know they at least have one Seraphim with them, so it's... not looking like I don't see them having great odds in a conflict with Luffy and the Vegapunks. So, gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But without further ado, guys, let's get into chapter 1068 of One Piece. So here we go. All right. So chapter 1068, and Ishmael, thank you for joining us. Interesting that you're caught up on spoilers, but not necessarily caught up on, the series as of yet. So I hope this is if you do decide to stick around, I hope this is something that you've considered with great scrutiny, and that I won't be ruining the rest of the series for you. So hopefully that won't happen, but we'll see what happens here. Without further ado, I need to get into this because it's already kind of late, and I got work in the morning. So, all right, here we go. Chapter 1068, A Genius Dream. Or is it a genius's dream? Or, yeah, it looks like a genius's dream. So both of these guys are thinking back, interestingly, to their time with Vegapunk. So we got Judge and Caesar Clown, who are now together. Very cool. Single fathers, taking care of their children. You know, I ship it. I ship these two. I like them. I can see these guys becoming dads, co-parents. Anyway, Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 25. It looks like they've beaten each other up a little bit, but they're remembering Dr. Vegapunk. They're remembering how jealous they are of that lad, of that, big-tongued individual, and how much they truly want to eclipse him with their scientific prowess. Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 25, two former members of the Mads reunited. Now we just need to get Queen, baby. We need to get Queen back. We need to get the real band back together. Now, the real question is, if Judge and Caesar, excuse me, another reason why I haven't streamed since I got back is I've been a little under the weather. I got sick twice in November, which sucks. But hey, what can you do? Okay, so the last time we saw these guys, so Judge and Caesar now on the same vessel. Caesar's kind of riding with the Germa, which is interesting. But what I'm curious about is, will Queen join up with them, and will they start a rock band? And in that situation, who's the front man? Who's the bassist / lead guitarist? And who's the drummer in this proverbial rock band that is Mads, that is the Mads Rejects? I would say lead singer is our boy Gangster Gastino over here. Guy shredding the bass guitar is my boy Judge, Deadbeat Judge over here on the right. And then lastly, the man with Fuck that. Caesar can be bassist and backup vocalist. Judge is lead guitarist. And Queen is drummer and lead vocalist, because that man has all the funk. I was pigeonholing him as the drummer because of how fat he is, but no, that man needs to become the lead vocalist. He has too much funk to be to not be the front man in some way, shape, or form. So maybe, you know what? Maybe Caesar's on drums. Ishmael says, Caesar lead singer, all lyrics are shuroro. You see, that's why I think he'd be a good backup vocalist, is because of his laugh, you know, shuroro. But he has a sick haircut later in Whole Cake Island, so when you get there, Ishmael, I'm sure you'll appreciate that. He looks like a punk rocker. With his sick-ass gangster hairdo. So you'll see. But it works. The former Mads members would make a great band. And you know what? Maybe Vegapunk will reprise as some sort of, doing like a featured on one of their albums. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the chapter proper. Okay, so we got this boy, who I think this is, I forget his number. No, number 4, it literally says on his chest. Damn. But I think, okay. We appreciate Cypherpole going to the effort of returning the Seraphim, but S-Bear can make its own way from there. So S-Bear must be the Kuma Seraphim. That must be the title for that Seraphim. And and I like that he has like a microphone that is literally just a snail. Just like a Den Mushi on like a fucking mic. That's pretty great. I want to get one of those for my streaming setup, actually. But yeah, this is Pythagoras, looking good as always with the little wind-up toy on his head. What a good boy. And we got Cypherpole approaching the islands. Epic. I regrettably won't be able to greet you in person. It's been so busy lately. So I think this is Pythagoras communicating with them. Please just order it to return to the island. You can consider your mission complete. Thanks again for all the hard work. So he's trying. So, okay. So last chapter we had, what's his name? The first, number 1. What was his name? Fuck. It's been so long since I've read One Piece. It's that guy. It's Daft Punk. Daft Punk told Pythagoras, hey, dude, like tell them to fuck off. Tell CP0 they can't land and prepare for battle. So now we got Pythagoras is trying to like de-escalate the situation. He's smart, you know. He's like not trying to agitate the situation. He's like, hey, thanks for, you know, all your hard work. Thanks for bringing our bear back. Just, you know, send him on his way. He can make it to the island from here. You know, appreciate all you guys do. You know, you're great people. So he's really, you know, being a bootlicker right now. He's sucking the dick of these government officials because he doesn't want to get on their bad side. You know what? I don't blame him. You know, when in a confrontational situation, you gotta hedge your bets, especially when it's with the men in blue. So anyway, so good on Pythagoras for playing it smart, for playing it cautious. How will CP0 respond? Says Oda. Okay, so CP0, we got LUCCI and Kaku and LUCCI's pigeon. Honestly, the best member of the crew, and we got, you know, S-Bear back here, looking goofy, looking like a little chillin'. Very cool. The Seraphim are good boys. So LUCCI's like, ... the fuck, bro. And Kaku says, that's not exactly a warm welcome. And then LUCCI says, so he has his suspicions. So clearly Vegapunk is smart enough to know that something ain't right, that CP0 is showing up in force, taking out their guard dogs, and being like, hey, you know, let us ashore. You know, he knows that, you know, we actually saw fucking Daft Punk, I forget the guy's name, number 1, communicate with Dragon a few chapters back saying like, hey, you need to, like, essentially, basically, like, you need to, like, I'm probably going to be killed. Like, they're probably going to try to assassinate me. And then the OG Vegapunk asked Luffy if he could, like last chapter, if he could like basically join the crew, or at very least like come aboard and like sail away from Egghead with them to escape this impending assassination attempt by the world government. So it's hard to know as of yet why the world government is making a move against Vegapunk and why it's taken them so long to do so. Like, if they didn't trust him, if they didn't fuck with him, you know, clearly he's been useful to them for long enough. He's bought himself some freedom, some ability to exist in their world, despite being suspicious of their past dealings and, you know, having a lot of free thought and being like a free thinker and an interesting individual. Excuse me. He's clearly made himself useful enough to them that he's, you know, unwilling to, like, that they have been unwilling to kill him up until this point. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they already, like, have a replacement for Dr. Vegapunk, potentially? Or is it just that they, at this point they can no longer, like, they can no longer work with him for some reason? It is weird that they're making this move as of now. It feels like a very narratively convenient move for them to be making at this point in the story. And it makes me wonder, like, why now are they making a move against Vegapunk? It seems like now they would be the most reliant on him. Because, you know, the, what's it called? The, fucking, what's it called? Ah, shit. The Warlords of the Sea, the Shichibukai, have been disbanded. And the Seraphim seem to be still kind of like under development. Like, they're not completely developed. They're still children, right? So, like, you'd think that they would need Vegapunk more than ever now, because so much of their ability to enforce their rule of law relies on Vegapunk's expertise and Vegapunk's invention. So it seems like a really short-sighted move to, like, be like, okay, well, now's the time to fucking, you know, to take him out, or to, like, you know, put him under, like, our thumb even harder than before, to crack down on this individual. It seems like a really short-sighted move, and I'm kind of not sure what to expect, you know? I'm not really sure why. Like, it seems very clear that Oda is, you know, pushing this to get a confrontation between LUCCI and the Straw Hats. But it also doesn't seem, and, like, trying to, like, reintroduce these characters that have been kind of, you know, sort of in the background doing things for a while, but have not been major players in the story for a long time. But in my opinion, this feels like really, really narratively convenient in a way that does not, like, feel like it doesn't seem to make sense. And maybe there's a good reason for it. Oda might provide us with a good reason. He's been pretty good about that this arc. So I do have some faith in him. But it is strange. It is strange that all of a sudden, like, they're like, oh, we can't let Vegapunk do what he wants. We gotta take him out, man. It just seems bizarre. It's a bit odd. So Kaku replies, "It's been a long journey. Can't we at least pop in for some tea? It's so chilly out here. G14 is not too far. They're sure to give you a great reception." So Pythagoras is really trying to steer these guys off of landing on Egghead, which makes sense under the circumstances. LUCCI picks up, "Dr. Vegapunk, I presume." So he clearly doesn't recognize whoever is speaking on the intercom. Interesting. Okay. "Yes, do you have any comment on all the recent disappearances at Egghead?" So he says, so Vegapunk answers, and then LUCCI all of a sudden is like, "Hey, what about all these disappearances at Egghead?" So his disappearances, what do you mean? 2 months ago, a CP5 vessel went missing. A month later, one of CP7's vanished too. And just 2 weeks back, it was a CP8 ship. So it seems like they're trying to frame Vegapunk for some bullshit that didn't actually happen. Classic government shit, classic cop shit. LUCCI's a cop, never forget it. LUCCI sucks. Blue lives don't matter. I'm just joking, but but kind of only a little bit joking. So yeah, LUCCI sucks. We all know this. We hate LUCCI. All my homies hate LUCCI. Hope Luffy pushes his shit in, and he's constipated from that forevermore. So he's trying to blame him for shit. So he's trying to blame Vegapunk for shit that he hasn't done. Ishmael, all my homies hate LUCCI. Yes. Yeah, fuck Lucci. I mean, Lucci's, like, got a cool design, but, like, yeah. Like, the longer the series goes on, the more I, like, think Lucci's basically just, like, he's just a government dog. He licks the nuts of the elite. Like, he literally, like, you know, kowtoes to, like, fucking Charlos, who Luffy, the moment he met Charlos, was like, yeah, fuck you, and punched that guy in the fucking face, because Charlos is a bitch. Fuck that guy. Ishmael said, fuck, you said it as I typed it. Great minds, man. Great minds. Great minds think alike. But yeah, Lucci, all my homies hate him. Fuck that guy. Hope he gets his ass beat as soon as he lands on Egghead, if he does. Anyway, excuse me. Why hasn't a single government ship made it back after visiting you in the last 2 months? What? Is that really true? I can assure you, we all remember seeing those ships depart safely. Okay, so now we got fucking Punk number 2, Electric Boogaloo. I forget her fucking name. She's hot. She's evil girl whose name I forget. Steals the fucking Dendenmushi. So yeah, they're clearly like, yo, stop blaming us for this shit. So what's her name? What's her face? Cute girl number 2 answers the phone. Just what are you getting at? Out with it already. You think we sunk those ships, don't you? Lilith, Punk Lilith, excuse me. Don't antagonize them. I've got half a mind to let you dock so you can see for yourself. So that's what Lilith's saying. That's even worse. Regardless, we can't let you in. Please turn back. Very well. Understood. So that's Lucci answering. Okay. Kerchak. So they hang up. And obviously, what now, Lucci? So who the fuck is this? There's a oh no, this is the giraffe. This is just the shadow of the giraffe. I wasn't sure. So okay. So that's like Kaku or what's her name, Stussy or somebody saying, "What now, Lucci? Prepare to abandon ship." Huh? We'll infiltrate using S-Bear's ability. So we got fucking S-Bear. So does that mean that S-Bear has the same ability as Kuma and he's gonna fucking like, you know, smack him over to the island or something? You know, bitch smack him over to the island? Potentially. Well, I guess we'll see in a moment here. A direct assault would always end in those... Or maybe he's got another Devil Fruit ability, like the Seraphim version of Jinbei, how he has like a Senor Pink's ability to swim on land. Who knows? Maybe he's got a different Devil Fruit. Or a different power. Prepare to abandon ship. We'll infiltrate using S-Bear's ability. A direct assault would always end in those sea beasts making a meal of the ship anyway. Yeah, so clearly these sea beasts are strong as fuck because they took out the Sunny basically like single-handedly. So yeah, not surprising that they'd be like, all right, like let's find a better way to get in. We'll use S-Bear or whatever. S-Bear is a weird name for this guy, but Kuma looks good as a Seraphim. I can appreciate it. A direct assault would always end in those sea beasts making a meal of the ship anyway, even though they already took out a sea beast. So I don't know. Lucci being strategic, so I can appreciate that. Understood. Okay, so it looks like they're going with that. Grand Line. Okay, so we're back at Kamabaka Kingdom, which is just like a big cauliflower mountain, apparently. Pretty weird. All right. Kuma, stop. Right there. So Kuma's still running away with all the wires and shit, coming out of him. Pant, Kuma-san, where are you going? Pant, snap, snap. So he's still like fucking electrifying and shit. I still think he's gonna blow up. That's my prediction, is that he is going to self-destruct, and he knows he's going to self-destruct, and that's why he's trying to get off the island. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to find Bonnie, who knows. Snap, snap, so he's got his hand, he's about to use his fucking hand, and he sends himself. He fucking puts his hand on his own heart, like he's giving the Pledge of Allegiance. And he fucking sends himself somewhere else, probably to Egghead, to do something cool there. That'd be cool. I would really love to see Kuma as like a player in the Egghead arc. That would be sick. Kuma is like I've said before, one of my favorite characters, like one of the characters that I want to learn about the most. Like one of the most mysterious characters in the series. I'm so glad that we're finally getting information about this guy. He's pretty cool. Okay, so Kuma, shoots himself somewhere else, leaves all of this fucking gear that was attached to him behind, or that was falling off of him behind. Dragon's surprised to see Kuma blast himself away, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Junkyard, Egghead. You want to leave us with Old Timer? You want to leave with... Oh, no, you want to leave with us, Old Timer. Okay, so that's Vegapunk. This is a follow-up to Vegapunk's request. How come? Isn't this your lab? It is, and up till now, I've been happy to spend every berry the government has given to fund my research. New ideas continue to pour out of me, of course. Unfortunately, I'm still limited by time, money, and manpower. Understandable. I persevere because I wish to change the world with my science. Yeah, dude. Literally Bill Nye, the seance guy over here with his Jimmy Neutron ass head. Looking great, as usual. What a great character. I love this guy. Honestly hilarious. Excuse me. I want to make a world where free energy is available to all. Fuck yeah, dude. Socialist Vegapunk. We stand. I can vibe with it. I'm with it, dude. Hell yeah. I want to make a world where free energy is available to all. Luffy's like, huh? You know, like Luffy does. Honestly, I was saying this with people in Discord after the last chapter came out, after 1067, but like I'm loving Luffy's reactions to things this arc. It's so like classic Luffy. It's like his reactions are so funny and so like he's drawn in such like a simple way, and I like his giant coat, and he looks great. He's looking great. He's sounding great, and he's feeling great, man. This is good Luffy, you know. This is like the good shit. Don't get me wrong, I like him taking charge and I like him being a badass, but like this is like the stuff that like this is the real Luffy. Like Luffy just being a fucking goofball. You clearly aren't following. Basically, you want to give stuff away to everyone. So Luffy, he is not down with this, you know, Vegapunk's socialist agenda, you know? He is not down with it. It is not okay with him. So obviously Luffy is you know, libertarian god. So of course he's not going to be down with Vegapunk giving away all of his technology for free. But Vegapunk is a socialist cuck, so there we go. It is a clash of ideals here. Nations often wage war over the natural resources we need to generate energy. So Jinbei is giving us some historical context, and, you know, makes sense. This happens in the real world as well. You know, people fighting for fucking oil and shit, you know, in the Middle East, etc. Precisely, people can be so short-sighted, says Vegapunk. If they'd only open their eyes, there's energy all around us. That's a great point. The world is teeming with it. If that raw power can be converted to more apparent and accessible form, we never see another conflict spark up over it again, says Vegapunk as he starts to fucking summon a Rasengan around him like a fucking Naruto character. No, I'm pretty sure this is like I don't think this is actually happening. I think this is just like a visualization of his dream happening on the same panel, which is fine. If that raw power can be converted to a more apparent and accessible form, we never see another conflict spark up over it again. I'm certain science will make that possible someday. Luffy's just like, does not give a fuck, just picking his nose. The classic Luffy, man, looking great. Doing his thing, just not understanding, being a goofball. You'll love to see it. You still don't care. Nah, it's great. You want to make people happy. I've got no interest in being a hero, though. Fuck yeah, Luffy. Fuck yeah. Pragmatic Luffy, Chads. We stan. We fucking stan. You'll love to see it. Also, I still don't get why you want to leave. That's the thing. My quest to further my understanding of energy led me to investigating the ancient fuel that powered this mechanical soldier. My curious nature as a scientist compelled me to take a peek. Imagine how much we'd learn if that forbidden thread of history was unraveled. After a dear friend of mine died, who was the dear friend? I wonder who the dear friend was. I don't know if that's been hinted at yet. I don't think so. After it very well could be someone we met, but we might just get a flashback for Vegapunk. So who knows? It could go either way. Excuse me. After a dear friend of mine died, I found myself diving even deeper into the abyss to further his will. Fuck. Explosion. Yeah, what? Huh? What? Huh? Okay, so a bunch of reaction shit going on. Okay, hold on. Wanupisu! Molotov, good to see you, my man. Nickelback, what's up, Nickelback? How we doing? Hi, I want to offer promotion for your channel. Oh god. Some advertisement. Great. Viewers, followers, views, bots, chat, bots. The price is lower than any competitor. I'm good, bro. Thanks, though. Appreciate you. Alright, so, in short, I know too much, and now the government wants to erase me just like O'Hara. What? So, okay, so this is what I was talking about before. Even if Vegapunk knows too much, at this point in the story, it still does not make sense that the government wants to kill him. Because, guess what? The government relies on him now more than they ever have. More than when he was just the guy who, like, could coat the ships with sea stone. More than when he was just the guy who could create pacifistas. Seraphim are the force that is replacing the Shichibukai. And he's the one who created it, and they're not, like, fully developed yet. They're still children. Like, they literally mentioned that. Like, excuse me. Excuse me. God damn it. It does not make any sense at all that now is the time. All of a sudden, when, like, Luffy and the crew show up, all of a sudden, now they want to take this man out. It makes no fucking sense. This is some hack to bullshit. I'm just gonna call it like I see it. This is stupid as fuck. This does not make any sense. It's bad writing. It's clearly, like, convenient piece. It's like, okay, like, we need Luffy and Vegapunk to bond. We want them to link up and do things together because we like Vegapunk. We like Luffy. His crew is funny. Vegapunk's funny. He would get along well with them. Let's have him, you know, hop on the crew and sell with us for a while and whatever. Or something of that nature. Like, this is clearly plot piece, which is okay. I'm still enjoying everything that's happening, like, in terms of, like, the details of the story, and I like all the information we're getting, but it is super convenient. We just gotta call it like it is. Like, this is essentially Oda just being like, there is, I could, like, unless he has a really good reason for why all of a sudden now the government has a problem with Dr. Vegapunk. Like, as opposed to, like, any point in the past. Because he's been known about, like, the O'Hara shit. He's been known about, like, you know, the information that he met with Saul to learn more about. Like, this is not a guy who has been, like... And maybe he's just more verbose about what he knows and what he's researching now. Especially with, like, the stuff on Egghead. But, like... Egghead has probably been a thing for years, right? Like, it's not like he just moved there to study this ancient technology. Like, there is just no reason, I'm sorry, there is no reason for this to, like, be what's happening now. Because now they literally need him to make sure that the Seraphim project goes well. And if a Seraphim gets damaged, who's gonna fix it? Do they have a replacement scientist? I don't think so. Unless they, like, rehired Caesar Clown or some shit. I just... Excuse me. I just don't see how this makes any, like, logical sense whatsoever. But anyway, Molotov, what are you saying, my man? Hi, I want to offer promotion to your channel viewers. Molotov, sold, brother. Get at me in the DMs. We'll talk business, bro. We'll talk business. They already have a death laser. What more do they need? They have a death laser? Oh, I guess they do have a death laser. Fuck. That's a good point. I mean, that is a good point. That is a good point. But, like, unless we get some sort of explanation... Excuse me. Unless we get some sort of explanation as to why that death laser could not have been used until now, I see no reason why they would all of a sudden make Vegapunk a criminal. How convenient! Yes, I'm pulling a Nate right now, but it's true. This is extremely convenient, and, like... Quite frankly, like, unless, like, Oda better have a good fucking explanation for why, like, the government, all of a sudden, as soon as Luffy and the crew arrive, they can no longer trust Vegapunk, despite him and his technology being more relevant to the story and the balance of, like, world powers than literally ever before, ever in the series. Ever. Like, it's literally ridiculous. Like, it doesn't, like... On its face, it makes no sense. And to be fair, I haven't read chapter 1069 yet. Maybe there's an explanation somewhere in there. Right now, I'm like, Like, I'm enjoying all, like, the fun things that are going on in this arc and all the information we're getting, but, like, this particular plot point is dumb as fuck. I just gotta call it like I see it. Molotov says, don't worry, we'll get the motivation for why this is happening 400 chapters later in a retcon flashback or in an SBS after 500 chapters. Yes. There you go. It was also used in God Valley. Remember, it also got... Yeah, that's true. And that was like 40 years ago or some shit. So yeah, no, you're totally right, Molotov. I think that's some bullshit, but we'll see. This is the second known use. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Anyway. So in short, I know too much, and now the government wants to erase me just like O'Hara. What? Okay. That ruckus must be Cypher Pole 0. 0? So Luffy didn't even know Cypher Pole 0 existed, I guess. CP0, excuse me. The direct subordinates of the Celestial Dragons. What? Weren't they called CP9? Excuse me, god damn it. CP0 is a division that stands above the rest. They say their members have historically been harbingers of catastrophe. So that's what Jinbei's saying. So Jinbei knows about these guys because he worked for the government, obviously. Golly, it truly is a city of the future. I can hardly contain myself. So, okay, this is kind of cute. I like that Kaku is excited because Kaku is a fun boy and he would be excited about a cool island that he gets to visit. So this is actually cute. I like Kaku looks like shit. Like I don't like his fit is kind of shitty, not gonna lie. Like if this beard were real, maybe it would be a little less shitty. I mean, at least it's not as bad as Lucci's fucking like ball on a string beard. That, oh my god, what are you doing, Lucci? What the fuck? But Kaku nerding out about this futuristic island is cute, and I do like it. Cypher Pole agents, don't they usually wear black suits? So all the residents, or holograms, or whatever they are, of Egghead Island, kind of freaking out. Why the fuck is Cypher Pole here? I don't understand. Why didn't they come through the normal port? Hey, did you guys hear about the 2 weaponized sea beasts that were taken out near the coast? So these guys took out the sea beasts, and now they're just here. Fuck. Don't tell me they're intruders. Shaka, CP0 are on the island. How did they bypass the port? Yeah, they're here? So, okay, so they clearly used this man's power, or Little Bear, S-Bear's power, to arrive on the scene somehow. Maybe S-Bear has, like, Law's Devil Fruit or some shit. Also, is there a Law? Is there, like, a Law version of the Seraphim? That would be interesting. That would make sense. I mean, he was a Shichibukai. I want to see all the... Like, I'm actually really interested in seeing all the Seraphim. I hope we get to see them soon. Ah, they're here! You're the worst, Rob Lucci. Stay away! So that's what Nami is saying. So Shaka is number 1. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Alright, so these guys are freaking out. Oh, so their ship is being eaten by the sea beasts. They must have realized that rejecting our request would inevitably result in the sea beasts consuming their ship. So they let it happen and used the Seraphim's pop... Okay, so the Seraphim does have the pawpaw fruit. Okay, that's a confirmation. The Seraphim's pawpaw powers to land instead. They use S-Bear, huh? We have no choice then. The sacrifice of their ship shows their resolve to fight. Evacuate the researchers and workers. So Shaka's taking charge. Hell yeah. My logical bro. Daft Punk over here. Atlas, make your way back to the lab. Prepare the Seraphim. We're deploying S-Snake, S-Hawk, and S-Shark. So they're going to be... It's going to be Seraphim versus Seraphim, which is pretty interesting. S-Snake. So that must be Boa, S-Hawk, Mihawk, and S-Shark, Jinbei. Entrust their command to Sentomaru. So Sentomaru's still hanging out. That's interesting. We haven't seen him in a while. And now that we know more about, like, what's it called? Fucking Hockey from Wano, we know that Sentomaru is kind of a badass. Like, he's kind of, like, actually super strong. So that's interesting. Alright, so let's see. This is the second known use. Yeah, nah, fuck Kaku. All my homies hate Kaku, says Ishmael. Yeah. I still have a soft spot for Kaku. I mean, the fact that he's still working for the government sucks and is a retcon from his cover story, as well as Lucci being still working for the government. That's also a retcon, so whatever. You know, we'll let it slide because you know there were things in his you know, that happened after his, whatever, his cover arc that we just didn't see. So who knows? Who knows? But anyway, Molotov says, I'm still upset that Bubble Woman was replaced by Stussy. I like Stussy. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I like Sheep Bubble Girl, but I like Stussy too. She's cool, and she's the leader of a red light district, so that also makes her really cool. Peach. Ishmael says, Minecraft Usopp looking motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. He does look like a fucking knockoff Usopp, so... I actually wonder, like, how the CP0 guys will do against, like, the main gang. If we even get to see it. We can all agree that Hakta should retire if Soge Kingu doesn't show up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Soge King better make it at least one more appearance before the series ends. Oh, maybe S-Sword is Law rather than Mihawk. Wait, S-Sword? I don't know about S-Sword. I don't know about what that is yet. Could be. Could be. Alright, so we got Sentomaru versus CP0. That's pretty cool. With a bunch of Seraphim in tow. That's neat. Alright, now then. Will you take me out to sea? I won't need long to pack, Quasar. We're not going on a field trip, old-timer. So Luffy's like, yo, fuck off. Your sudden disappearance would definitely qualify as a catastrophe. I'll allow it, though. I'll allow it, though, since you've got a funny head. Fuck yeah, Luffy. You see, this is why Luffy's based. You call that a screening process? Yeah, buddy. Of course. I like that that's Luffy's reasoning. He's like, yeah, you can join my crew because you're a funny fucking applehead. Yeah. Then let's head up this place. Let's head up. This place will soon be a battlefield. Would you mind bringing Bonnie with you to Lab Stratum above the clouds? Okay, so they're all going to head up, and Bonnie's coming with. Sure, no worries. So interesting that he wants Bonnie to come with them. Well then, see you up there. So is he just vanishing? It's not invisibility. He's like a hologram. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Okay. What? So maybe the real, like, Vegapunk doesn't exist in, like, a physical form. He's like a manifestation created by, like, the Unibrain that exists on the top of Egghead or something. That would make some sense. That would be... But then why would he ask to escape with Luffy if he can't, like, physically get away? Also, we know the brain is too big to ride on their ship. It's huge, you know? So that's also another factor as well. Because even if he leaves, CP0 can still destroy, like, you know, his mind, basically. So yeah, there's some kinks to be worked out in this plan, Vegapunk. I thought you were smart, Vegapunk. What the fuck? He vanished. Apple Gramps. All this futuristic tech really messing with my head. I don't even know who says that. Is that Luffy or Chopper? Who knows? Alright, so we got the fucking hologram dragon attacking the government officials. Cool. Wowee, there's a space monster. Yo! Wah! Yeah! So they're all firing at him. They're like, what the fuck's going on? Our guns aren't working. I've always wanted to take a swing at an unworldly beast like this. You must be a genuine space monster. Tempest kick. Don't bother, says Stussy. It's a hologram. How does she know that? She just have, like, good intel, I guess? You could have told us sooner! So Kaku's kicking at it, being a funny boy. Also, his nose is black. Is he using Conqueror's Hockey on his nose, specifically? That's interesting. Excuse me. Molotov says he phased into existence in his first appearance, too, I think. I thought he was, like, stuck in, like, a rope. I thought he was, like, stuck in the ground in his first appearance. I thought he was, like... I thought they, like, physically pulled him out. But I could be wrong. Ishmael says, maybe the real Vegapunk was the friends we made along the way. That truly is the real One Piece and the real Vegapunk, for sure. Molotov says, CP0 having nameless jobbers that just have guns really feels like hard hacked to me. Honestly, I kind of like that. Like, it makes them feel like... I don't know, it makes them feel more grounded. Like, the government isn't, like... I don't know. Like, I kind of like that there are just, like, nameless jobbers with guns, just because I liked that in, like, Chapter 1. Like, literally Chapter 1, you know? The epic meme. So, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying, But yeah, it doesn't bother me. And like, I don't know. I imagine that these guys are just like normal, like ranked government guys who are just hanging out with CP0. Like, I don't think these are like members of like the elite squad or whatever. They're just like foot soldiers. So it's fine. Whatever. Anyway. Okay, so Stussy knows what's going on. You're as well versed as ever, Stussy. Yeah, this takes me back. So how did she know? Even the pigeon is like, huh? So this takes me back. So what does that mean? Has she been here before? So Kaku's going up. I'm going to pop up and take a look, see, above the clouds. If Vegapunk's around, he'll be up there. Those two lines on the cloud. Can you see them, Lucci? Yeah. When an enemy target crosses those lines, beep. So Stussy's got all the intel, which is kind of cool. So fucking Kaku's going up. He crosses the fucking barrier. He's about to get fucking bombed. A laser beam is triggered to neutralize the threat. Damn. So he kind of gets fucked up. It's a different system that covers the entire lab stratum. They call it the Frontier Dome. So that's kind of cool that they're giving Stussy some, like, not like agency, but like essentially like kind of her, I want to know more about her personality, but like I do like, a demure, sex trafficker, aka, like, she's cool. She's undercover. The thing I like about Stussy as opposed to a lot of the other CP0 members that we met is she was actually undercover when we met her, and like in deep cover and like serving another role in the underworld. So like her just like having this intel is kind of cool. I actually like, this is characterizing her as like someone who knows her shit and like is competent. So I'm digging this. I'm digging this. They call it Frontier Dome. So the dome is protected. That's actually awesome. That makes all the sense, because I was just asking what happens to the brain if CP0 tries to go up there when Vegapunk is leaving. So great covering your ass there, Oda. Good on you. Anyway, Kaku-san, moral of the story is, it's unwise to underestimate the world's greatest scientist. You should really mention this kind of intel beforehand, says Lucci. You're a piece of work, Stussy. As he's all fucked up. Well, at least you're not chilly anymore, right? Hey, what's the big idea? I'm the only one allowed to rampage on Egghead. Dr. Atlas. Atlas, she's one of the Vegapunks. Atlas, wait, you don't stand a chance. Ultra Mighty Punch! This isn't a game. And then Lucci turns into a fucking cheetah. Or a leopard. Six King Pistol. Dr. Atlas, he's showing no mercy. Damn, so he fucking crushed like half her face. God damn. And then he does his fucking like double charge thing where he like hits you with that fucking like electric magnet. Basically, like, I always presumed it was like similar to how the Minks have like kind of like the electro powers because they're like using their static electricity. I always assumed this was kind of Lucci doing the same thing, but with like projecting like his like fucking his Rokushiki powers or whatever. But apparently it's hockey. Apparently it's always been hockey, which is some fucking chapter 1 Oda retconning, but whatever, it's fine. Not a huge deal either way. So Lucci fucking hits her with the fucking charged, double fist blast. Fist the fuck out of her, and Kya! Dr. Atlas, Kya! Okay, so Dr. Atlas is down. Huh? Straw Hat. Oh, fuck. Okay, I skipped. My bad. Dr. Shaka has ordered us to evacuate. Everyone, retreat to the factory. We're under attack. So, fucking, Atlas is fucked up, man. That's too bad. She was cool. I liked her design a lot. Astro Boy type beat. Everyone retreat to the factory. We're under attack. Looks like you're still breathing. Come on, let's head to the top with that vacuum rocket thing. And we got Luffy, he's carrying Bonnie. Huh? Straw Hat. Pigeon Guy, so a fateful reunion. So these guys are about to fucking throw down. And I suspect Luffy is going to push this man's shit in. But we'll see. Lucci was pretty tough pre-time skip, so we'll see if he's improved enough to challenge, God Emperor Luffy with his Chosen One powers. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. I'm not really sure. Like, Luffy should beat his ass, right? Like, Luffy really should beat his ass, and it should be like, basically a mid-diff. Like, it shouldn't even be a fucking challenge. But I don't know, man. Maybe Lucci is much better than he was pre-time skip. And I don't know, maybe Stussy will help him out. If Stussy helps him out, I could see it being competitive, but it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. CP0 having nameless jobbers that just have guns really feels like the hard hacked to me. I already read that one. Vegapunk was getting visits from Stussy's girls. Honestly, that's not a bad... I wouldn't blame him. Although we know that it would have to be... excuse me. We know it wouldn't be Shaka or like old Vegapunk or anything like that. It would have to be Punk York, who would have to be fucking some ladies. So I mean, hey, you never know, man. Punk York's the desire, so it would have to be Punk York for sure. Taking shits for everybody and fucking for everybody, so everyone else can work hard and be productive. Now, to be fair, Kaku and Lucci were also undercover when we met them. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. I don't like some of the ways that like Oda has kind of changed CP0, and specifically what I mean is like the fucking masks were essentially... Water 7 was based off of Venice, right? Like, it was like people rode around in like the fucking water. It was like a waterlogged city with like kind of like raft houses and shit. Like in Venice, like where like there's like a festival where everyone wears like masks and shit. And that is why people wore masks in Water 7. So CP0 just like wearing masks in general instead of just wearing their like, their suits and shit, like the stuff they wore when they were actually like being secret agents, is kind of some hacked shit, and it's Oda using... It literally is Oda using, like, a visual indicator to kind of, like, be like, hey, remember CP0, guys? But it like, doesn't make logical sense, and it's like, why would they wear masks if everyone just recognized them anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are... Like, if you don't know that they're CP0... Like, you know they're CP0 now because they wear the mask. They're not... being secretive, they're giving themselves away by wearing them. So it's like it's kind of some bullshit. It made like when they were wearing the masks on Water 7, it made sense because they were blending in. You know what I'm saying? So now that they're just wearing them everywhere, people are like, see them with the mask, they're like, oh shit, those guys in the mask, they're CP0. It's like now they can be identified on sight, and it's like that's not what you want to be as a secret agent. You want to blend in. So like, yes, I get the idea that like they are... Like, it's a visual indicator. Oda's trying to use some shorthand with us. I get it. It just does not, like, track with the logic of the series or, like, the logic of them being secret agents. It just doesn't. Like, the fact that Rob Lucci is, like, a known entity in the world at this point. Like, it makes him look like a fucking idiot. And it makes the organization itself look kind of dumb. And, like, it makes the government look incompetent. Stussy is still kind of cool, but now that she's wearing this mask, I have a little bit less respect for her, just because, not because of anything she did, but just the system that Oda has, like, transformed this, like, the Cypher Pull thing into is kind of dumber than it was when it started out, in my opinion. Anyway, there are mixed messages on whether the 6 techniques are hockey or not. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's hard to say. Maybe Oda will clarify more next chapter if we get any sort of confrontation between Lucci and Luffy, which I hope that we will. Oda has said it both ways, I think. Yeah, I think you're right, Molotov. I think you're right. Now, Devil's Advocate, the masks are a coincidence. Oda was trying to be Hackta. He just also wanted CP0 to have masks to hide their identities. Oh, Oda wasn't trying to be Hackta. Yeah, that's fair, dude. I'm not trying to be too hard on Oda here. Like, I'm just, giving my honest opinion. And it's not an opinion that is uncommon either. Like, other people have a similar opinion, right? And, like, it's, but I think this is a valid critique. Like, it was a specifically Water 7 thing that ended up just becoming a Cypher Pull thing. And, like, that's like, I guess that's fine. I just think it's kind of dumb because now it makes it literally like people will see them and they'll just be like, oh, those guys are CP0 because they're wearing the mask. So functionally, it makes very little sense. And the reason why I liked Stussy when she was introduced in Whole Cake Island was because she was undercover, like under deep cover as a member of like the underground, like as like the leader of the red light district. So it made her cool when she kind of revealed herself to be CP0 because it was like, oh shit, I didn't expect that to happen. That's fucking sick. That's awesome. But now she's just like, you know, playing into this like dumb thing where like now she's just a known quantity. People just know that's a CP0 person, you know? It would be cooler if these guys were reintroduced as, you know, undercover like lab techs on this island. That would have been neat. But I don't know. It's fine. It's a shonen. I'm not going to be too hard on it, but that's just how I feel. Hopefully that makes sense. Ishmael says, it's like how in Naruto Sasuke has this purple rope as part of his outfit like Orochimaru, but the rope thing was just on some grass ninja that Orochimaru disguised himself as. That is 100% true, man. That is 100% true. I give it a little bit of a pass to Naruto just because it was like kind of less important. Like Orochimaru didn't need to be like explicitly undercover. Well, I guess he kind of was an undercover guy because he would steal people's faces, right? But at least whenever he pretended to be somebody else, he would always wear that person's clothes. So I get what you're saying. I think this is a slightly more egregious offense of the same thing, of the same principle, just because now it's like whenever someone with a mask shows up, like with a weird extravagant mask, it's like, oh, that's CP0. Like, it's just like people just, or like, oh, that's CP9. Like, people just know now. Like, it makes them being secret agents, like, they're not effective as secret agents because they're immediately identified all the time. But it you know, it is what it is. Malta says, nah, those were Sound Village ninjas and Orochimaru was the Kage of the Sound Village. No, those guys were actually just grass ninjas, man. Like, that was, like, the original person that he stole the face from was just a grass ninja. And she just had a grass ninja outfit, and Orochimaru just co-opted that. He's just like, I just like this fit, man. I just really like this fit. You know, it works for me. So he just kind of went with it. Orochimaru, when we first saw him in, like, a normal like, he was just wearing, like, kind of like a black kind of, like, you know, like, ninja, like, outfit. Like, the first time we really saw him. I think Kishimoto probably just liked, like, the, you know, the fucking boat, like, the fucking, giant like rope fit on his back and just thought it looked cool and was like, I'll just keep that because people seem to like that fit for him. So yeah, no, like Ishmael's totally right about that. Tuning exams, they show the dead body Orochimaru disguised himself as, then just kept the fucking rope like he had it all along. Yeah, and all of his subordinates had it from then on. Yeah, that's true. That is a good point. If they wore the exact same Water 7 masks, it would be 100% Hackta. Unfortunately, Oda has cover by the mask being different. That's fair. I mean, it's not that big of a problem. It's just something I picked up on and was like, you know, the fact that CP0 is immediately identified by the masks, whether it's LUCCI's gang or the gang we met in Wano, it's just kind of like, I don't like it. I don't think it doesn't make, it's like, if you're trying to stay like undercover, why would you wear something that makes you immediately identifiable? I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. I'm in total agreement with your position. Thanks, Molotov. Oh yeah, this is more serious. Rope thing just always bothered me, so I felt it was appropriate to bring it up and bitch about it. That's what we do here, Ishmael. That's what we do. To be fair, the paper rope is a traditional Japanese aesthetic too. That's a good point. And it does look sick on Orochimaru. It's a sick fit, for sure. I can't be too mad about it. But yeah, ultimately, pretty cool chapter. Move the plot along. It was a bit of a setup chapter, but that's okay. I liked that CP0 didn't just roll up and like steamroll everyone. Like, I like that Kaku kind of got fucked up. Like, yes, this person, what's this person's name again? Atlas. Atlas kind of got fucked up, but I like that we're kind of seeing some of their personality. Like, Kaku's still kind of like, you know, a bit of like a go-getter. You know, he's still kind of like chill and funny and like easily impressed by things and like kind of like wide-eyed, despite being like a jaded government official. That's always what I liked about Kaku. So it's cool to see that personality kind of come out a little bit. LUCCI, still strong, still, you know, no nonsense, which is fine. And Sussy kind of showing a bit of her personality as well. That's pretty cool. Luffy was really funny this chapter, just kind of not giving a fuck about Vegapunk and his fucking dream. And I guess the namesake of the chapter is his dream about sharing, creating a clean energy source. And I remember Lilith or whatever, or Lilith, talked about like kind of trying to find like an eternal flame or create an eternal flame that could like power the whole world. But I do like that Luffy just listens like, yeah, man, that's cool that you want to help people. I just don't care about that because I'm a pirate, man. I'm out for myself at the end of the day, even though I will help people that I like from time to time. So that's cool. That's a good characterization of Luffy. You'll love to see it. And he's being a funny boy. You like to see it. And him inviting him to join because of his head being funny is really good. That's classic Luffy, man. Ishmael says, bro, I'ma just get a bunch of ropes now and masks and new anime fit. Yeah, dude. You'll be ready for Anime Con whenever that comes around. People underestimate how drippy fully masked can be. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It has a bit of like an over-design thing in my opinion. I actually don't hate Kaku's fit, but his fucking cool baseball cap was like the coolest thing ever. So, and why did he hockey his nose? That's something I don't understand. Her outfit looks fucking stupid, and LUCCI needs to shave that fucking dangly beard he's got going on. It looks awful, and it's always looked awful since he was reintroduced. It looks terrible. Fucking shave, LUCCI. You look like a fucking idiot. Only thing that could have made that Luffy exchange more based is the classic mystery tag. Yeah, that would have been sick. But honestly, Luffy has been great so far in Egghead, and I'm really excited to see more. Anyway, guys, listen. We got one more chapter to do. I'm going to run and grab another drink. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hang with me. We'll be right back. Ishmael says, nose hockey going to end up being the secret of Roger's strength. I sure hope so. At very least, mustache hockey. That's the real secret. Anyway, guys, I will be back in just a few minutes. Hang with me till then, if you will, and we'll read the next chapter in just a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ, and after the long-awaited break I took from my One Piece reactions, we're going to be reading the latest chapter of One Piece as of today, December 8th of 2022. It is chapter 1069. Haha, 69, Lamau. Chapter 1069 of One Piece. We owe all there is to desire. Now, I assume this is going to be a chapter all about Punk York, the desire of the Vegapunk gang, who eats, shits, and fucks for all of them. Our favorite member of the Vegapunk crew, the most relatable, the most based in more ways than one, and I'm really excited to see what we learn about this. But yeah, I really haven't heard anything about this chapter. I might have seen like one panel from it. And what's interesting is this chapter actually came out like yesterday. Like this is maybe like one of the earliest, like at least scans for it have come out yesterday. This is one of the earliest chapters we've gotten in a hot minute. So I'm pretty excited. Molotov says, I just read chapter 1069. I am malding. So I actually, one sentiment I've heard about chapter 1069, and I haven't been like spoiled to anything. I think I saw a panel with like multiple, the only thing I was kind of spoiled to was I think I saw a panel with like multiple Seraphim in it. That's it. So we already know that it's going to be Seraphim versus Seraphim, potentially, with Sentomaru kind of leading the charge, which is going to be sick. I'm actually really excited to see what Sentomaru does. He's a character that I've been like excited to like kind of learn more about. I guess he is Kizaru's nephew, and he is Vegapunk's bodyguard. So, or that's what he was at least pre-time skip. Now he's a vice admiral, but he's super strong. He kind of fucked Luffy up back at Sabaody before the time skip. So he's a pretty tough boy. And it's cool, like, I wasn't sure if he was still, like, kind of working with Vegapunk or working as a Vegapunk bodyguard or not. I think that was still something that was sort of up in the air since the time skip. But It seems like he's still involved. It seems like he's still their bodyguard, and we know how strong that dude is. So I'm actually genuinely excited to see where that goes. We just read chapter 1068, and Fuma sent himself to somewhere. Presumably Egghead. Presumably launched himself with the Paw fruit somewhere important, possibly Egghead. Very likely Egghead, because that's where his daughter is. That's where Vegapunk is, who, knows all about his shit and what's going on with him. That's where this big conflict's about to happen. And, last chapter was pretty nutty, with CP0 kind of infiltrating Egghead, with Lucci, Kaku, and Stussy. The big Stussy. It was pretty interesting. It was cool to see Lucci still being, or not Lucci, Kaku still being kind of like a wide-eyed little child, like in a lot of ways, which is something I always appreciate about Kaku. He works for like a terrible organization and is like a, like he can kind of switch from being like a goofball to like kind of like a brooding, like badass, like secret agent at like the drop of a hat. But like, I like that he kind of does have like a bit of like not an innocent streak, because he's definitely not innocent. He's done a lot of terrible things, but he deep at his core, he is kind of like a childlike individual, similar to Luffy or Usopp or someone of that nature, who kind of like will get excited about like just, like things that would make like a young boy excited. So he likes fun, like Molotov just said. So yeah, exactly. He likes fun. He's a fun boy, and it's cool that Oda is showcasing that side of his personality. I was worried that side would be like really watered down, so I was very excited to see that last chapter. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what we'll get into this chapter. I've heard like some sentiments about this chapter. I don't know any of the details besides there might be Seraphim in it, based on a panel shot that I skimmed by very quickly. But that is not surprising. That would not surprise me, even if I hadn't seen it. So hopefully it's not a huge spoiler and we can just get into it. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start reading chapter 1069. We owe all there is to desire. Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, volume 26. A philanthropic endeavor of Lone Shark King Lufeld, even though he was called Dufeld back when we met him. Mads, the Laboratory of Peace. Presented by Lufeld. Fuck, I hate when Oda does this. When the chapter, basically, it's the same thing that happened with like Reverie and then Lev Ellie, which was like a stupid Oda. It's just Oda having like problems with English. Like he's got bad English. I'm sorry. Like Dufeld sounds way better than Lufeld. I'm just gonna say it. So I'm just gonna call him Dufeld because fuck Lufeld, because Oda's a hack. And this is him having an English problem as usual. Get your shit together, Oda. Learn some English. Fix your shit, man. Anyway, but like, I thought this guy was dead. I thought Stussy shot this guy in the face, or in the back of the head, and killed him. So it's cool to see him, and it's cool to see his... So Mads presented by Lufeld. Pacifist. Okay, this is interesting, actually. So, like, this is a ship. Is this a flashback? A philanthropic endeavor of Lone Shark King Lufeld, Mads the Laboratory. So is this a flashback to... Because last chapter we saw... Last covered page, we saw... two former members of Mads, who were members of Mads with Dr. Vegapunk. It was Judge and Caesar, and they were reminiscing about Vegapunk and the time they spent in Mads. So was that like indication that we're going into a cover story flashback? And was Dufeld because we know this guy's dead now, and he looks a lot younger here than he did when we saw him at Big Mom's Tea Party. So it makes me think that this is a flashback, and that what we're seeing here is what we're learning now is that, oh man, so this cover story, we're getting Mads information. That's actually sick. That's actually awesome, because that's like something I've been wanting to like learn more about for a while, and like I wasn't sure if we'd get like a flashback within the story about it, but it's been like kind of like a running thing that's been going since Punk Hazard, like at least since Punk Hazard. So like That is cool. I didn't realize that like Dufeld had any hand in Mads at all, but now it seems like we're learning that he like financed it. That he was like the financier behind this like scientific collaboration between all these like great minds. That is actually genuinely like a really neat detail that I was not expecting to ever learn. So that's really cool. Molotov says it's a tale about laughs. It sure is, bud. It sure is. It should have been a tale about rafts. Yeah, man. Okay, Laugh Tale is actually a good instance of Oda kind of like fucking up, like, or it being Raftel for like 20 years was a good instance of Oda kind of like leaving it vague. Like, I'll say that. Like, that's fine. That is actually genuinely fine. But there are some things, like, there was one chapter where people started calling Linlin Rinrin because he wrote Rinrin on her fucking, like, what was it? The wanted poster in the panels of the manga. So, for that one chapter, everyone changed the fucking, everyone changed the translation of her name. Every Scanlation group, and even like the official translation, I think, changed it from Linlin to Rinrin. And it sounded so much worse. It was a classic case of, Japanese man being unable to distinguish between R's and L's when there is a clear, in English, it's like one of them clearly sounds better and more natural, and like it would make, like it just made sense and it just rolled off the tongue better. And it's just, this is another situation like that, where like we had Dufeld, now we have Lufeld. I know it's not exactly the same. It just, I like Dufeld sounded better. It sounded like a mob guy. This sounds dumb. This sounds like some English bullshit. That's all I'm saying. At least that's my opinion. Molotov says, I like it being Laugh Tale, but the reveal happening not at the end to bait hype is what upsets me. The narrative impact could have been way, way, way more. I get what you're saying, dude, but I think it's hard to like measure that. It's like we could speculate that maybe when finding out, like maybe if the flashback had been when the Straw Hats actually got to Raftel, it might have been more impactful. And that's a fair thing to to have some like disdain for, or like to be like Oda, or to think that Oda could have handled a particular aspect of the story better. That's totally fair. For me, like, that moment still works for me. And apparently it was spoiled in a movie or something, which I think is a slightly more egregious offense. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's like, the movies are mostly bullshit, but occasionally there's something important in them. And that was like one instance where the movie kind of predicted something, or like leaked something kind of that was kind of a big reveal, or should have been a big reveal. But in either way, I don't have a major problem with the way that particular thing was revealed. In fact, I like that Oda's English kind of affected the story and affected the fact that learning what Laugh Tale is, like what's on Laugh Tale, which is literally like a tale of laughs. Learning about this like story that Joy Boy left behind is like this like big reveal. Like, I like that it ended, like, I'm not even sure if Oda meant to hide it in that way, but I like that him not knowing English very well allowed for it to be a surprise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Molotov says, well, Stampede was only a problem for us English speakers. It wasn't much of a reveal for the Japanese audience. That's fair. And, it is just I think, like, just a general issue with when it comes to, like, localization. That, we'll never be able to fully, like, remedy. Like, it's an unfortunate thing, but it is what it is. Anyway, I need to get into the chapter, because it's getting late. Yeah, they got Dr. Atlas. So all these guys are running away, because Dr. Atlas got fucked up. Egghead and Chaos. So we got Jinbei versus CP0. That's pretty, okay, so that's actually kind of epic, because we saw Jinbei beat up who's who, but how is he going to fare against, like, LUCCI and Kaku, and, like, guys that we know? That's actually kind of interesting. I'm actually kind of excited to see that, or maybe he'll be stuck with the Seraphim, who knows? Intruders, why is Cypherpole doing this? Eek, it's Rob Lucci. They're really after Vegapunk, says Jinbei. What are you doing here, pigeon guy? Okay, so this is great. I like that Luffy, even now, still doesn't remember this dude's name. Because fuck Rob Lucci. Like, Luffy ended up internalizing Katakuri's name because Katakuri was badass and, like, respected Luffy, and they had respect for each other. So Luffy ends up, like, at one point, like, learning Katakuri's name and calling him Katakuri. Not just, like, Scarf Guy, not just Donut Guy, not just Big Mouth Guy. He specifically says, Fall Katakuri. Like, I will defeat you, Katakuri. Because he had respect for Katakuri, because Katakuri is a badass and awesome and respectful and a based motherfucker. But fuck Rob Lucci, that fucking, fuck this pop-ass bitch who fucking licks the nuts of this Celestial Dragons. No one cares about this dude. Fuck him. He's overstayed his welcome. I want Luffy to beat his ass. Like, genuinely. I want Luffy to push his shit in. If Lucci stands a chance, like, legitimately, like, Jinbei should be able to fucking, teabag this motherfucker. Well, I swear to God. You realize this is a government island, he says. Oh yeah, I guess we're the ones out of place here. Luffy, let's hurry and head up. Dearie me, the Straw Hat Pirates, and it looks like they're with Jewelry Bonnie. Well, that's that, Lucci. We can't lay a hand on them. Straw Hat's officially an emperor now. We can't engage him without orders. So Luffy's like, here you go, dude. Look after Bonnie, Jinbei. Oof. That's right, emperors have considerable backing behind them. Even a small tiff can flare up into an all-out war. Contact the Navy. Yes, ma'am. Hey. So Luffy's now seeing what happened to... It's her, that kid from before. This is awful. I'm aware of the consequences. That said, so clearly she's trying to be like, yo, the emperors are a big deal. We probably shouldn't fuck with them. We should probably just let this guy, exist. We shouldn't fuck with them without orders to fuck with them. Contact the Navy. Yes, ma'am. So Luffy obviously only gets involved with shit when, like, someone he likes or someone he cares about gets fucked up by someone else. That's what gets him invested in a conflict. So this is classic Luffy. He's seeing Atlas all fucked up. And Atlas was nice to him. Atlas helped Luffy and the gang get food from the vending machines and save them from the dragon and stuff like that. That kid from before, this is awful. Lucci says, I'm aware of the consequences. That said, so Lucci's trying to make a case for why they should attack him. Chopper, do what you can for her. I'll try, but I think this is more Frankie's forte. Keep out of this. It's government business. That kid gave us food. So yeah, Luffy constantly motivated by people giving him food. That's the thing that motivates Luffy. Always. If someone gives him food or water, like, that is what motivates Luffy to act. It is consistent. That is the thing that always happens, basically in, like, every arc. It's like, hey, this person was nice to me and gave me some food. Like, fuck off. Fuck off. That is literally how he determines if someone is, like, nice or not, which is cool. Which makes Luffy consistent and good. And I like him. Molotov says, I like it being like... Oh, yeah, okay, I already read that one. Molotov says, Sam, oh, that nice old man gave me water. Yeah, exactly. Fuck, don't touch Koza, crocodile. So Luffy and Lucci are about to square the fuck up. Navy HQ, the Straw Hat Pirates are on Egghead Island? What the hell? Things keep getting messier. Who the fuck is this weird long neck freak? You guys see this guy in the left side of this panel with Akainu? Things keep getting messier. Is Vegapunk on to CP0? Afraid so. They had to force their way in. You'd think those brats would consult me before declaring war. Okay. So Akainu's like kind of pissed that he's not being consulted first, but it is what it is. Actually, well, Stussy did say contact the Navy, so I guess Stussy is trying to do something, At least that, it's not like completely, that they've gone no contact. But, you know, it sounds like Lucci might end up acting of his own accord. Anyway, I think that's Straight Swordsman from Water 7. Straight Swordsman from Water 7. Maybe. It's possible. I don't recognize him. He's just got like a weird fucking neck. Long ass neck. Weird posture too. From the train? Maybe. No, wait. No, that guy from the train was he was wearing like armor. He was wearing you're talking about T-Bone, who fought Zoro on the train. No, T-Bone was wearing like basically like T-Bone looked like a Dark Souls character. He was wearing like full armor and shit. So no, this isn't T-Bone. This is like a weird dude with like a fucking beard. Looking like a fucking millennial. With like, looking like basically a hipster. Okay, so Kainu's now in on this shit. If Vegapunk has cut a deal with Straw Hat, that's a major blow to our military superiority. I mean, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have tried to fucking kill Vegapunk then, you fucking idiot. Where's Kizaru? Oh, so Kizaru's on his way to fucking Egghead. Shit. Okay. Well, fuck. We might actually have a fight on our hands then. He's already left for Egghead, as planned. Tell Lucci to wait for the Marines to arrive. Yes, sir. He's not to engage Straw Hat under any circumstances. Egghead, New World, crash, ooh-ah! Uh-oh, so Luffy's actually going off. Oh shit, is this Lucci? So Luffy's in gear 5, it looks like, and Lucci is also in like a weird god form, like with like weird black smoke or something. Wow, wait, Luffy, don't start yet! So we got Chopper in his Kung Fu point carrying Bonnie, and Jinbei carrying Atlas. You better be sure you want to do this, Luffy. They'll consider this a major incident. So obviously Luffy thinking with his fucking, you know, heart more than his head. And that's okay. That's why we love him. That's why we love him. He has his Zoan. There are no rules. That's a good point, yeah. Fuck Zoans, man. Fuck Zoans, dude. Fuck them, man. So stupid. Alright. What the heck? Did that Lucci guy always look like that? Wah, kia! What speed is this? This is a rare sight. Most awakened Zoan powers tend to overwhelm the user's mind, but this... So he's an awakened Zoan now. Man, okay, so... okay, so now we're getting an awakened form from Lucci. Which is cool, like it looks okay, I guess. Cat Fruit Model Leopard awakened form. So his awakened form is apparently... It has like the same vibe as like Luffy's awakened form. It looks cool, like it looks badass. But like, did Kaido not have an awakening? Now I'm like genuinely, like back when Kaido got beat, I just assumed, oh yeah, his awakening was probably like him using that weird like fire stand thing that he used, right? And now I'm like genuinely wondering, like, what the fuck was, like, did Kaido just not have one? Because if all Zoan Awakenings look like this, why didn't Kaido have something that looked... I mean, Kaido had his hybrid form, which kind of looked a little bit like this, but it is a little bit weird that Kaido and Big Mom... Mostly Kaido. Big Mom I'm not as... Oh god, look at his fucking gross beard, though. Ugh, gross. It's mostly weird that Kaido never, like mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never came up. Which I guess that's okay. Like, I don't really care that much about Awakening. It is a little weird, though. And it's weird that this guy should be able to stand up to Luffy, who's literally, like, you know, the king among kings with the strongest devil fruit in the world, basically. Or at very least, like, one of the strongest devil fruits, like the Nika fruit. So, how can just a general leopard fruit, you know, have any chance against the Nika fruit? It doesn't make any sense, but whatever, I guess. Impel down. Molotov says, Kaido was never said to be awakened. Not explicitly, no. I just assumed that, like, at one point he probably used it. Like, he just didn't say it. Just because, you know, like, I don't know. That's just what I assumed. I assumed that like one of like Kaido's attacks was probably the equivalent of his awakening or something. But whatever. We all assume that awakening caused him to turn from koi into dragon, like the folklore said. That's possible. I kind of assumed it was maybe like one of his like the fire stand that he used at the last second, like basically against Luffy's final big punch, you know. But yeah, like one of those. It doesn't matter that much. It is just kind of weird that like the awakened Zoans all seem to have this kind of like weird like steam that looks like a cave, you know? It is a little funny that seems to be a recurring thing. Most awakened Zoan powers tend to overwhelm the user's mind, but this, you're not the only one who's gotten stronger, Straw Hat. So obviously Lucci has also gotten powered up. He should still get his ass beat, but it seems they both have awakening now, so that's kind of interesting. Cat fruit model leopard awakened Zoan. Lucci, stand down. We still don't have permission. Shaka! Is he on screen, the White Warrior? The White Warrior, is that what they're calling Luffy? The Shmeek Warrior, the Seaman Warrior? Whoa, it's the real Vegapunk. How'd he get up here so fast? Okay, so that's what Usopp says, or is that what Frankie says? Frankie's, like, fangirling out over here. You know, with the hearts and the fucking Usopp tongue and the love eyes. You wouldn't happen to know the story behind Straw Hat's transformation? Do tell. We're not really sure, to be honest. Isn't it one of his Gum powers? Oh, we're getting Nika lore. Here we go. That's funny. You see, there's no mention of any Gum fruit in the old Devil Fruit Encyclopedia. What? God, look how big this man's head is. Jesus Christ. It's like 4 times the size of Nami's head. And that's not even with his fucking stingray form. Lucci is a Hito. Wait, really? That's not what this says. Hito model leopard? It's Neko, my man. I mean, you say that, but that's what Luffy always called it. How sublime. So I guess there's no Gum fruit then? He looks just like that god described in the ancient texts. God? Are you senile? That's just Luffy. Wah, kya! I speak of the warrior of liberation, whose antics could bring a smile to anyone's lips, also known as the sun god Nika. Oh, God. Oh, no! God, fuck this shit! Oh, I hate this shit, man. I hate this shit. Oh, this sucks. This sucks. God, I don't care about Nika. God, I don't give a fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. This sucks. And he's just laughing at Lucci, fucking dabbing on Lucci. You know, literally fucking laughing in his face. Just, Lucci's trying real hard to hit him. I mean, so, okay. This is good. This is good that Luffy, like I said, I kind of like the powers. The sun god Nika. Nika, I've never heard that name. Yeah, neither has anyone in the story ever, except for Vegapunk, apparently. Naturally, it's been, and apparently fucking, you know, the Gorosei. Naturally, it's been wiped from history. And yet, as long as people's desires persist, such a thing will never cease to be. Interesting. Okay, so as long as the dreams of man, you know, what does Blackbeard say? The fucking man's dreams will never die. So as long as man's dreams never die, Sun God Nika will always be a thing, of course. What about my dreams, Oda? What about my fucking dreams? I dream of a world without Nika. You know, let it be so. So Lucci's going ham, trying to fucking beat this guy up. Luffy's just laughing at him, dodging his shit, like, casually, which is good. I'm glad that Luffy is kind of, like, just fucking with him. That's good. Because he should. Like, if this guy could beat Kaido, Lucci shouldn't stand a fucking chance. To be honest. That's just how I feel. We owe all there is to desire, for instance. The devil fruits, huh? The devil fruits, huh? Wait, what? We owe all there is to desire, for instance. For instance, we owe all there is to desire, for instance, the devil fruits. Huh? Okay, I got it. I got the inflection. And now we're getting devil fruit lore. Okay, so At least we're finally learning more about devil fruits. That's actually a good thing. Genuinely something we've been wanting to learn about for a while. So I don't mind getting some more lore about this type of stuff. Devil fruits are a manifestation of the desire to see how different paths of evolution can play out. Huh, interesting, okay. So he's giving us an example. Gee, I wish I could do X, or if only we could do Y. Fruit powers actualize such wishes. Interesting. Each one showcases a different possibility for the future of humanity. Interesting. So wait, it's just people's wishes then? Like literally man's dreams will never die? That's literally like a power in One Piece that creates a fucking like a physical thing that people... It's like a metaphysical idea that creates a physical substance that then affects people's evolution? Is that what we're getting here? These deviations are, of course, unnatural. So it makes sense that they attract the ire of Mother Nature. Interesting. They attract the ire... Wait, Robin's like freaking out. Like she is like this is the most worried I've seen, like most expressive I've seen Robin in like a worried state. The sea itself, one who has eaten a fruit, lives a totally alien... Wait, so it makes sense that they attract the ire of Mother Nature. Oh, these deviations are of course unnatural. So it makes sense that they attract the ire of Mother Nature. Okay, so these deviations, these fruits that are created, attract the ire of Mother Nature, the sea itself. So they're doing a clash, Conqueror's Hockey Clash. This is a cool panel. I actually like this panel with like LUCCI looking cool and angry and Luffy looking funny and them just giving a big cartoon punch with like lightning crackling. That actually looks good. One who has eaten a fruit lives a totally alien existence, born out of the limitless permutations of imagination. So, okay, we're getting some like actual explanation as to like what fruits are. And they're essentially like the manifestation of the desires to see how passive evolution can play out. So I guess depending on your desires, depending on what you want to see from these passive evolution, depending on kind of like your will, like fruits can evolve more or less depending on these various factors. So that's kind of interesting. Lives a totally alien existence. One who has eaten a fruit lives a totally alien existence, born out of the limitless permutations of the imagination. I gotta keep reading, guys. I'm sorry. I want to read your comments, but I gotta know what I need to finish the thought. That's my theory, at least. Whether you believe there's a God out there or not, one thing's for sure. We live in a wondrous world. So they both get smacked back by this clash. We live in a wondrous world. I do like this refrain. We live in a wondrous world. And you got Sanji, Frankie, and Usopp freaking out. So, Molotov, what are you saying, my man? Let's see. Reminder, just because the narrator says the fruit is something doesn't mean it is. The narrator said that Luffy was a Gum Gum Man. That's a good point. And to be fair, I honestly think I trust Vegapunk more than I trust the narrator at this point in the story, because Vegapunk has so far proven to be a reliable, resource, who seems to know what they're talking about. Lucci is Hito Hito. Context missed from the message above. Lucci's cock. Oh, yes. We're seeing Lucci's cock on full display for everyone to see. And it is glorious. So Luffy bouncing back as he does. This is supposed to be my day off. So we got Navy Science Unit Captain Sentomaru. What do you want, Grandpa Punk? Grandpa Punk. Is that just like a name, a nice fun name he has for Vegapunk, or is that like actual familial relation? I'm guessing it's just like a fun pet name, like Punk G, or like the way people call Whitebeard Old Man, I assume it's something like that. This seems cut and dry, Cypherpole. Cypherpole is on our side. Pirates are the enemy. So I just gotta back up CP0, right? And then all these people have their fucking boots on, their fucking fly boots or whatever. Not quite, Sentimaru. The CP0 agents are actually after my life. Huh? Sorry to spring this on you, but can you chase them off? So he's brought the fucking... Oh, man. So he's brought these guys that laid waste to fucking... Oh, and they all have, like, the weird, like, water watch. So Punk Boa has it on her forearm, or on her bicep, tricep. These guys have it on their forearm, which is pretty cool. Young Dracula Mihawk looking like a badass with like literally a miniature version of like Dracula Mihawk's sword, which I saw some people arguing about back when that chapter introducing this guy came out. Wait, wouldn't that make me a traitor? True, this is a big decision. So, okay, so Sentimaru's kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't want to fucking make an enemy of the government. Never mind me, Sentimaru. I only took you in when you were starving. Please do whatever feels right. So he's trying to guilt Sentimaru. Twist my arm, why don't you? I mean, Sentimaru's he's always been like a kind of a cool boy. Like, he's a funny boy. He's got like an interesting design. I've always kind of liked him. I never noticed that thing. I've never noticed that thing. Is that a new addition, or did they always have them? I don't know if they have, like, so the little water watch thing, Punk Jinbei, or not Punk Jinbei, Seraphim Jinbei, Seraphim Shark always had one. I can't speak for the others. I would need to go back and read the chapter where they were introduced. But Seraphim Jinbei had one from his initial introduction. I don't know what it means, or what it indicates, or what it represents in any way. It's just something that I've noticed. That's all. So they're twisting Sentimaru's arm, being like, I only took you in when you were starving. Please do whatever you feel is right. This will be tricky. He's got three Seraphims. Esper, take one out. It's no use, Kaku. We're at a handicap here. Esper, get rid of those suits. Beep beep. Fiddlesticks. I forgot that his orders trump the authority chip we have. So now Esper is fucking beating up the Cypher Pull guys. Fuck yeah. Yeah, ooh-ah! So this is pretty fun to see Sentimaru and fighting against the CP0 guys. That's pretty cool. I actually like that. Yeah, the command hierarchy for this pacifista isn't in our favor. Besides, they can't take orders via transponder snail. So this is interesting. We're actually getting a command hierarchy. I didn't expect that. I assumed there was one. I wasn't sure if it would be like spelled out. So okay. The 5 elders have the highest command hierarchy, but the thing is Dr. Vegapunk programmed the hierarchy, so I assume that he technically can overwrite any hierarchy that currently exists within this, these like command prompts or whatever. Dr. Vegapunk, Stella, and Satellites. Sentimaru, and then anyone with an authority chip, like Cypher Pull has in this case. So it's not like the 5 elders can help. Interesting. So they don't have a transponder sale, so the 5 elders can't help. And even if they did, I assume Vegapunk could override it, because it's Vegapunk, and I'm sure Vegapunk is smart enough to plan for contingencies. So, come to think of it, destroying one of these gizmos would be a big loss for the government. Yeah, which makes me wonder, why are they trying to kill Vegapunk in the first place? They need Vegapunk. The government needs Vegapunk. That's the thing that I don't understand. Like, why would they be trying to turn Vegapunk against, or to assassinate Vegapunk at this point in time? What has Vegapunk done since, like, the end of Wano that makes them want to, like, turn against him? Like, to assassinate him, to take him off the roster. He seems basically like the most important employee that the world government has. He builds all their most important shit that allows them to maintain their power, such as the Seraphim. So it's like, it's bizarre to me. It makes no logical sense. Like, Oda, you need to provide not just an explanation, but like a damn good explanation as to why they want to assassinate Vegapunk all of a sudden. Because right now, it does not make sense. It just doesn't make a goddamn lick of sense. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. Molotov says, Vegapunk is kind of a dummy. Maybe he accidentally leaked his desire to leave. It doesn't make sense. Chicken and egg scenario. Yeah, we'll see what happens, Molotov. I'm really not sure what to make of this at all. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe there's a good reason. Right now I'm thinking this is some hacked bullshit. But whatever. It is what it is. Come to think of it, destroying one of those gizmos would be a big loss for the government. No fucking shit. Also, destroying the guy who made them or assassinating the guy who made them. Pretty big loss. Because he's probably one of the only guys who can fix them, if not the only guy. Would it kill you to look before you leap, LUCCI? Yeah. Yep. Oh, this is kind of fucking cool. So, Luffy punches the fucking ground and sends his fist through the ground. Or maybe he sends his fist into the ground and then uses the fucking... his awakening to basically create like a fucking punch from the ground. He's either sending his fist through the ground or he's using... oh, that's awesome. Gum Gum Mole Pistol! That's actually pretty cool. And Mole is definitely one of like the attack names that Katakuri would use. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if he learned anything from Katakuri or if this is just him coming up with a move on the spot. Mole Pistol! That's pretty cool. So he's beating the fuck out of LUCCI. That's awesome. LUCCI taking a beating by Luffy. That's what we expect to see. Let's move, S-Snake. Lead the Straw Hats to the vacuum rocket and see them safely through the Frontier Dome. S-Hawk, S-Shark, suppress CP0. Chopper, are my eyes playing tricks on me? I thought he looked familiar. Those brown guys look like ex-warlords. Those brown guys. Okay. All right, Jinbei, chill out, my dude. Chill out. You don't want to get any. You don't want to get canceled, my guy. You just joined. You just joined the crew, man. It's too early for you to get canceled, my dude. It's too early for that shit. Don't tell me they cloned us. Yeah, shit. Molotov says, oh, maybe his connections to Dragon and the Revolutionary Army starting their full-on war? That's possible, but either way, they still need Vegapunk. Like, I don't see how they would be able to get rid of him. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't think that's a substantial enough explanation. But we'll see. We'll see what they come up with. We'll see what Oda comes up with. We'll see what Oda pulls out of the hat this time. Ooh, Battle Axe. Long time no see, so he actually remembers Sentomaru. Don't just nickname me based on my weapon, Straw Hat. We're not friends. Anyway, are you really gonna help Grandpa Punk escape? Yeah, he asked me. Don't sweat it. I'm not sure I can trust you. You're an emperor after all, and what's with your appearance? Oh, fuck. Handgun. So wait, LUCCI just fucked up Sentomaru? Is that what just happened? Handgun. So it's not just a she-gun, it's like a full hand. He basically did like a bleach thing, like one of the Arankar sticking their fucking hand through Ichigo. God damn, that's rough. Ruthlessly efficient. Battle Axe! What? All we had to do is cut the head off the snake. Now, Seraphim, obey us. Interesting. So he couldn't beat Luffy one-on-one, so he had to fucking, you know, take out the guy who controls the Seraphim in order to, honestly, that's pretty smart. That's pretty smart of LUCCI. But will they be able to, like, he already gave them a command. Will they be able to override the commands? Damn. That's crazy. So LUCCI just fucked up, what's his name? Sentomaru. I never thought I'd see that, because Sentomaru kind of fucked up Luffy when, I mean, I guess it was kind of a nerfed Luffy that we had been fighting for a while, but, like, it's still interesting. Like, obviously, LUCCI has grown not quite to the degree that Luffy has, but he's pretty strong, which isn't super surprising. Like, I kind of expected LUCCI to be, like, he was one of the main, like, bad guys from pre-time skip. So I'm not surprised that he's, like, still, like, a player, and he still grew to be much stronger. But it's crazy that just the leopard fruit has a power that could even stand up to Luffy's fruit. That's wild to me. Like that Luffy's Nika fruit that beat Kaido, defeated Kaido, can be even challenged by Rob LUCCI. But, you know, clearly Oda really likes Rob Lucci, and the fans really like him. So I get why he's still a player. I get why he's still strong. And I do kind of like this. This is an interesting development. It shows that Lucci isn't just thinking with his fucking dick, you know? He's thinking with his head. He's thinking of ways he can, like, turn the situation to their advantage by getting the Seraphim on their side. That's pretty cool. That's actually pretty based. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty based. Overall, I'm not a huge fan of, like, the Nika retcons and stuff, but overall, this was a pretty cool chapter. We got, like, to see Luffy and Lucci, like, have a reprisal of their fight. Like, I think Oda did a pretty good job of making it clear that, like, Luffy is outclassing Lucci, but Lucci is still able to hold his own to some degree. So he did a good job of making Lucci look strong, but not, like, too strong, you know? Not, like, to a degree that would make, like, Luffy's advancements look, like, less than they are. You know, Luffy's still beating his ass, which is good. That's what it should be. And he still makes Vegapunk and Sentomaru look, like, capable in their own way. Although Sentomaru getting fucked up like this is kind of a little disappointing. But it is what it is. And hopefully Sentomaru won't be, like, he's not going to be dead from this. But, you know, it's overall, this was kind of a neat development. I'm interested to see what goes down. Like, this arc's been kind of coming along. I think one criticism I've seen for this arc is that it's going a little bit too fast. But frankly, I'm kind of digging it. Like, I think this is progressing at an appropriate pace, in my opinion. Like, I'm having fun with this. Again, I could do without the Nika stuff because I just generally don't love it. But, you know, at least they're doing a decent job of, like, providing some explanation for what devil fruits are. Although this is so vague. Like, this explanation of, like, what these devil fruits are is so and, like, how devil fruits came to be is so fucking vague. We need more than this. Like, in Vegapunk, I expect, as someone who has created artificial devil fruits, like Momo's fruit, frankly, I expect more than this from someone like you. Like, I expect a better explanation than just, it's like a lineage factor, or it's like, you know, it's like a, it's like fate, or it's like a desire thing. You know, if you want something bad enough, if you want to see how evolution plays out bad enough, a fruit will be born. You know, it's kind of, it's not good enough. That is not a good enough explanation. We need a better explanation of that. That is not acceptable. I don't think it's acceptable. If that is all Oda has from a guy that literally has been able to create an artificial devil fruit that was better than Caesar's fruit and was able to basically mimic Kaido's fruit, and has also created, like, a Senior Pink type fruit for, you know, Punk or Seraphim Jinbei. Like, we need more than this. This is not an acceptable explanation. That being said, the events of this chapter, the, like, things that, like what is actually happening is interesting. Kizaru being on his way is cool and interesting and adds, like, some stakes to the narrative. Like, them learning that, like, oh shit, we were cloned. Like, Jinbei learning that is cool and interesting. And Sentomaru being involved is cool and interesting. And Luffy and him having a conversation is cool. And Lucci, like, doing a thing to, like, even the playing field and, like, turn things back to, like, he's an assassin. This is what he should be doing. This is good. This is good. I haven't liked Lucci until he did this. This is some Machiavellian shit. Because he knows he can't beat Luffy one-on-one. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do something that will allow the tides to be turned to my advantage. This is good. This is good shit right here. Overall, I think this chapter is a solid one. I think this is good. I thought last chapter was kind of underwhelming. It is what it is. It was a setup chapter, but, like, I had my problems with it. But overall, I think this is taking us in a good direction, even if I'm not a huge fan of some of, like, the Nika stuff and some of the Devil Fruit stuff. Overall, I think, like, this is becoming a dramatic affair with a lot of characters we know and like and care about and are interesting. And seeing them interact in interesting ways and show their personalities is cool and good, and I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Let's see. Counter-argument. The world government is 600 years old. They managed for, like, 400 plus years before Vegapunk showed up. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That is not a bad argument to make. But here's the thing. They literally had a Shichibukai system that they just abolished because they thought that Vegapunk's new system, the system that he created, like this Seraphim thing that he created and manages and is still in the process of developing, is like, that is their replacement for the system that allowed them to compete with the Yonko who ruled over the New World. Them just like being like, oh, like, we no longer need you to be able to use the Seraphim is like completely nonsensical, because what if a Seraphim gets defeated? Who's going to fix it? Who's going to create a new one or a replacement? Not Dr. Vegapunk if they kill him, so it just doesn't make any sense. Like, too much is riding on the Seraphim project. Literally, Kaku mentioned that this chapter. He literally confirms that. He's like, well, fuck, we can't get rid of it. Like, if we lose a Seraphim, that's going to suck. We can't fight back. So, that's all I'm saying. 16 years of waiting for devil fruits are desire powers. That's not a real explanation. I completely agree. I like that we get some sort of explanation, but this is not sufficient. We need more. We need to know more of what this guy knows. And if this is all he knows, I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling Hackta. That is not enough. That is not enough. I would have liked a bit more. I completely agree. Unfortunately, Oda has the professor from the SBS promise wasn't Vegapunk. Wait, what? Unfortunately, Oda has the out of the professor from the SBS promise wasn't Vegapunk. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Like, maybe you mistyped something there, Molotov. But yeah, like, that's kind of confusing to me. But yeah, no, I see what you're saying. We need more. We need a better explanation than this. That is my, like, primary takeaway, is that if this is all Vegapunk has to offer, I call bullshit. This guy built a devil fruit. He should know more than just like, this is my fucking theory. Like, bro, you put it into practice. You should have more than a fucking theory at this point. You should have a fucking hypothesis. And like a strong hypothesis at that, because you've made a fucking devil fruit. You've done it. So that's all I'm saying. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So like, I'm not going to get too upset about this, because overall, I thought the chapter was fun. Like, I think this is good. Like, the stakes are rising. We're actually getting like returning, like, characters that we like. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Lucci, but I like that he returns and that he's kind of like a threat. Like, but not so much of a threat that, like, I like that it's not that he's so much of a threat that, like, Luffy can't handle him. Like, no, Luffy is stronger than this man. But what makes him formidable is his mindset. Is that, like, he's willing to do something, like, fucked up. Like, he's willing to assassinate someone that, like, even if he can't beat Luffy one-on-one, he'll, like, okay, like, this guy's causing us problems. I'm just going to take him out of the picture so he won't be a problem anymore. Like, obviously, Vegapunk could just get on a loudspeaker and, like, communicate directly with the Seraphim. So this might be a completely useless move right here. And I'm actually kind of hoping that that's what Vegapunk does, because that would make Vegapunk awesome and based. But this is a good move on Lucci's part. This makes him look like based and badass. Like, which is all that I expect from Lucci, is that he is like someone who's willing to carry, like, who does whatever it takes to carry out the mission. Like, he is not that interesting at, like, on his own right, but what makes him, like, a good character is that he is someone who, like, will go to whatever, he'll do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission. And, like, that is pretty badass and makes him, like, a scary guy in his own right. So, like, yeah, like, I kind of like this. I kind of think this is cool. I like that, like, it's clear that Luffy is stronger than him. And, like, yes, he can kind of hold his own, which is more, like, honestly, probably more than I find to be believable. But, like, it's okay. Like, Lucci, we know, is strong. We know Oda, like, has made him clearly a lot stronger. He has Awakening now. And he has, like, Conqueror's Haki or some shit, because he was able to clash with Luffy. So he's clearly a strong boy. But Luffy is still stronger, which is great. That's what you want. Like, Luffy's still kind of just playing with him a little bit. But, like, at the end of the day, like, what makes him formidable is that he's willing to do whatever it fucking takes to accomplish the mission. Even just taking out, like, basically, more or less, like, an enemy but a bystander. Like, someone on the same team as him, technically speaking. That's pretty badass. That is pretty badass. Yeah, this chapter was good, man. I had fun. Like, I had a good time reading this. And yes, are there things that we need more information about? Yes. Are there things that I didn't like about this chapter with, like, some of the Nika shit? Yes. But once I get past, like, some of the lore shit and, like, some of, like, kind of, like, the underexplained mechanics shit, like, getting into, like, the actual, like, dramatic elements of this chapter and, like, the way, like, characters are interacting and the cool shit they're doing within the arc, I'm having a lot of fun. And, like, a lot of characters are, like, presenting a lot of agency, and I'm really enjoying that. Like, I like that Vegapunk is, like, being strategic. And this motherfucker, Sentomaru, is being strategic. And LUCCI is being strategic. And these guys are all thinking about consequences and that there is a logic to this stuff, even if some of the logic to some of the stuff that's being talked about is underexplained and should be better explained as of now. Hopefully we get more. I'm like, Oda's been pretty good about providing, like, what I would call satisfying explanations to some of the stuff this arc. I'm hoping that he can do that for Devil Fruits as well, because if this is all we get, that does suck. But everything else about this chapter I thought was pretty cool. So I'm digging it. I'm having a good time. Let's see. Molotov Bartender says Oda has an out to this. That out is the professor that explains what devil fruits are and where they come from is not Vegapunk. What do you mean by that? Is there another... What do you mean by that? Is there another explanation? Like, is there another... Is there, like, another professor that we should be... Is it Vegapunk's friend that he mentioned last chapter? His friend who died, who knows more? Ah, but he can't megaphone. That was the purpose of the commands don't work via Denden Mushi line. I thought the commands don't work via Denden Mushi line was more... The command hierarchy for the pacifist isn't in our favor. Besides, they can't take orders via... Oh, you're right. Shit. Fuck, you're right. So, I mean, we could just get another Vegapunk down there. Like, the Vegapunks are on the island. So, it doesn't necessarily need someone for another Denden Mushi, but it is kind of concerning that LUCCI could kill another Vegapunk at any time. So, that's a good point. That's a good point. Thanks for pointing that out. That is a good point. Yeah, I guess another Vegapunk could go down there, like Lilith or, you know, Pythagoras or York or somebody. But damn. Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun with this chapter. I'm excited to see what comes next. I think we're going to have a lot more breaks as the holiday season comes along, and frankly, I'm okay with that, because I've been meaning to get back to streaming games, and I'm excited to do that. I'm planning on playing Alice Madness Returns. I'm planning on getting back into Solar Ash, maybe some other games as well, maybe Nier Automata, maybe The Witcher 3, because there's an update coming for that. So yeah, we'll see. Look out for that either on, you know, here on Twitch or on YouTube. The YouTube channel that'll be uploaded to is Bag of Chips, which is down in my linked channels on my Twitch channel. But yeah, there should be some more stuff coming soon, even if it's not just One Piece. I might continue to do One Piece every 2 weeks. We'll see kind of what happens. As we go into the holidays, that probably will be the case, but we'll see. We'll see. But it'll still come out on YouTube, probably as, like, separate episodes between 168 and 169, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm still kind of debating on how I should approach that. And then as, like, my schedule seems to kind of clear up a bit, we'll see what happens next year. Whether I want to go back to, you know, every week being a One Piece chapter read-through, or if I want to do it, like, kind of every 2 weeks like I have been doing for the last few episodes. Molotov says there's an SBS entry that says a professor will explain what devil fruits are and where they come from soon. Like 16 years ago. Yeah, soon. I assume he meant because I think that was even before we even heard about Vegapunk. So I assume that's a Vegapunk thing. But he doesn't explicitly say Vegapunk despite Vegapunk being named at that point. Was Vegapunk named 16 years ago? Are you sure about that? I don't think he was. I don't think that he was. I mean, listen, Vegapunk has literally made artificial devil fruit. Like, not more so than Caesar has. Like, in a more effective way than Caesar has. He's literally been able to copy people's devil fruits via, like, their lineage factor or, like, getting DNA from them or something. Like, that's how he was able to get Senor Pink's fruit. That's how he was able to get Kaido's fruit. So, like, I suspect that he has more info to dish out. I don't think he's gonna like cop out of this and make it like, oh, there's another guy who has all the information. No, I think it's Vegapunk. I think it's Vegapunk, and I think he has more information than what he's letting on. It's the time when Nami was listening in on the Seastone boat conversation. Oh, I believe Vegapunk was name dropped there. He was. Yes, you're correct. I'll be honest, man. I think we're getting more information from Vegapunk. I wouldn't despair just yet. If there's one, like, obviously, you know, Oda doesn't always stick the landing on everything, but I think, like, if there's one thing I am confident of, I think we'll get more information about Devil Fruits from Vegapunk, whether it's this arc or whether he joins us on the Sunny for a little while and maybe into the next arc. I'm not sure, but I'm confident he will have more to say than just this. I think this is just an introduction to what he has to say about it. At very least, I hope, I cope, I pray. And I hope, I cope, I pray. Anyway, guys, it's late. I gotta get to bed. I got work in the morning. But thank you for joining me on this adventure on the high seas, man. Man, this is a fun read through, dude. This is a fun catch up. I'm really enjoying Egghead. And yes, there's some things I'm concerned about regarding the future of One Piece, but I'm really having a good time with it. I hope you guys are too. And I'm sure I'll be talking with you about this stuff, whether it be in my Discord or Talking Pirates Discord or, you know, whatever it might be. So thank you guys for joining me again. This is a lot of fun. Good night, Molotov. Thank you for your participation. It's always a pleasure to have you on the stream, dude. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and look for the YouTube upload, and whether it be tomorrow or over the weekend. I'll see you again very soon. Have a good night and sweet dreams.